Before we begin our video lesson, please update your table of contents in your journal. We are going to be adding how soil forms concept map on page 27. The date is 01/20. Add this title to your table of contents. Good morning, 4th grade. Today we are going to be exploring the Earth's natural resources and how they are important and helpful to our daily natural life. For today's lesson, you will need your journal. So let's start out by reviewing what we have learned about the Earth material. We have been observing and analyzing different Earth material for a couple of months now in science. So let's review. We learned about soil, which soil is different size earth material that is mixed up with humus. This earth material we learned that can be broken down into smaller pieces by physical weathering and chemical weathering. Remember, physical weathering is when these earth materials can rub against each other, causing them to break down. And chemical weathering is when rocks break down due to different chemicals found in acid that is found in rain. Now, when this earth material breaks down into smaller pieces, the smaller it is more likely to move around. And when it is moving around, that is because of erosion. Erosion causes these small rock pieces to move from one place to another. And when these rock pieces move around, it can change how the Earth landform looks. And when it finally settles down and begins to develop a landform, that is called deposition. An example of erosion and deposition are volcanoes. Volcanoes also add to the Earth's landforms. When the lava cools overhead and hardens, the lava also helps get nutrients to the soil. And the lava that erupts from a volcano has lots of water and gases that it adds to the atmosphere. Now we have explored erosion, deposition, chemical weathering, physical weathering, volcanoes, and humans have been studying all these different Earth features for a very long time. Humans have been observing, creating, and analyzing different landforms and different features of the Earth using maps. The purpose to study these maps and the different features of the Earth is because that way we can develop different plans to help reduce any negative impact that can happen to our Earth because of natural disasters, like when we learned about how floods, how people can prepare for them, or volcanoes, how people that live around volcanoes can be prepared. We're exploring about soil and how soil is broken down from rock materials. I have a question. When you think about soil, what is soil helpful for? Yes, so soil is helpful for many different things. Soil is helpful for helping different plants grow and helping different fruits and vegetables grow. And soil is something that we get from the earth. It is something natural that our planet Earth provides us with. I'm wondering if the earth provides us the soil. Um, I want us to go through the process of how the soil on Earth forms. We're gonna draw a concept map on page 27 of your science journal. We're going to go through the process of how soil forms and what it goes through so that it can help assist, so it helps human beings and works as a resource to our for us. We start out with mountains, which mountains, what they are just large pieces or masses of rocks. And then there are also volcanoes. When volcanoes erupt and the lava hardens, it adds another layer to those big, tall mountains of rocks. So these are what starts the process of soil. If you do not have enough time to copy each box, that is okay. At the end of the video, I will show you guys my journal so that you guys can copy it from there. We have these big mountains, these masses of rocks that are called mountains. Now we have, and then something that it's called physical and chemical weathering occurs. With physical and chemical weathering, either by rubbing or different chemicals that are found in nature, it can cause these big pieces of rocks to break down into smaller pieces. When these rock pieces get smaller, some of those rock pieces stay in place, and those small pieces become a part of the soil. Now, although some of those rock pieces stay in the soil and stay in place and become part of soil, not all rock pieces stay in the same place. There is something that we call erosion and deposition that is caused by ice, water, or wind blowing around, and it causes these small rock pieces to continue to get smaller, but then also move around to different locations. They might have these big rock pieces started as big mountains, but through physical weathering and erosion, they have moved around and now are part of a new location, and they become part of the soil. And sometimes those rock pieces settle down and start forming landforms. Other times they keep moving and moving around until they find different soils. But when these rock pieces are finally part of soil, there are different nutrients that we can find in these rock pieces, in these small rock pieces. And those are very helpful for plants and animals. The smaller rock pieces they have different nutrients or different minerals that are helpful to help plants and animals grow. So when these small rock pieces are part of the soil, the plants and animals are able to use the nutrients in the material for different shelter and also to help them grow. Plants and animals also give back to the soil. See, when the plants and animals die, their body decays, meaning if it's in the ground and it breaks apart into smaller pieces. And when these smaller pieces break into the ground, the nutrients that were once given to the plants and animals also go back into the soil. So it's like a big cycle of how soil is able to get its nutrients, and how soil is a resource for plants and animals to be able to survive. Also, soil just doesn't get its nutrients from plants and animals, but volcanoes are also very helpful, because when that lava erupts from a volcano and it lands on, after it erupts and it cools down, that new lava has a lot of minerals that help the soil get stronger and make it more fertile. So we just learned the process of what soil goes through to for work. We just seen the whole process, how a big rock gets broken down into tiny pieces that has lots of nutrients to help plants and animals, but that this is a big cycle because plants and animals also add back the nutrients to the soil. Soil is just one example of something that is natural on our earth that is helpful for our survival. In this unit, we are going to be exploring different natural resources that are helpful, that are found in our planet Earth, that are helpful for our our survival, whether it's getting food, air, or water. I will now show you a picture of page 27 in our science notebook. Make sure you add this concept map to page 27 on your science notebook. That way tomorrow we will be reviewing it more. This is page 27. Add how soil forms concept map to page 27. As soon as you're done, you can exit out the video.